So the really intriguing thing here is going to be to watch Ed come on and take a hit at Reg's leave. Ed has had a little bit longer to sit down than Matthew did. Ed's been sitting down for a good 40 minutes, whereas Matthew had 25 minutes on the bench.
And well, with the tap on start for Matthew, he's got a pretty easy start to the break, which means he's got all the balls under control very early, and now his mind's probably thinking of just holding on to this break. Yes, the lawns are a little bit slick, but he's also got his options open to him now. Obviously, he can do a leave after 3 back that will give him a standard triple if Robert elects to lift the blue ball, or he has got the option of getting that black ball through hoop, the blue ball of Robert through hoop 2, and possibly setting over on this western boundary. So I'm not sure what his tactic will be.
And he had so much control so early that he could have chosen.
I think it'd be thinking hold on to this little start opening of the break first, but then with the ball control he's got now, he's got a few options.
So Reg about to play a croquet shot, which will send Ed's red ball over towards the western boundary. There's a nice convenient shadow of the hut for lawn 4 there for Reg to get an absolute exact spot. It will be interesting to see if that red ball ends up on the corner of the spot, because it's quite a compelling one. He just leaves it a bit short. It's actually not that long, is it, Pete, that one?
It's also quite angled with maybe he's
because the traditional spot would be the corner of that shadow, would it not? That's
well, yes, certainly. Slightly more west and a bit more south. So
so it's quite deep into the lawn, that red ball.
But as long as yellow's tight, then the blue and black can still sit.
Yes.
Well on the east boundary.
Would he? I mean, is there any sense in which he might have done that deliberately, so as a ties to Edmund? Thinking,
not as a tie. No.
Well, to sort of say, how about would you like to shoot at that one, Edward? It's rather than.
I didn't see what he had out of hoop 3 was hoop 5, and out of 3 back was hoop 5, and any line of play of anything.
No, well, he was playing a croquet shot, wasn't affected by hoop 5. Yeah. Matthew on lawn 3, just making very standard progress now on hoop 5.
Reg will have a fair bit of knowledge. He'll be expecting Edward to be, shooting from B balk or A balk in this match. So
Reg is.
He's got the yellow nicely placed, so he can still be on this eastern boundary at optimum height.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll notice there that Reg has left the yellow ball in such a position that Edmund would not have a swing at it, from where Reg is going to place his black and blue balls. But I am intrigued by the fact that the red ball is quite a long way into the lawn. And tactically, what would be the? Would there be a definite reason for doing that, or is it just because that's what allowed Reg? That was just what allowed Reg to get the right shot on the yellow.
Yeah, so as I say, I didn't see the shot after 3 back of what sort of angle and what he was faced with.
It was a croquet shot from between 4 and 5.
Well, it might have been the wanting the control on the yellow ball to tuck it in there nicely, and he only took took that line for that. For
So
that
what
reason.
what do you think Edmund will Edward? Sorry,
Ed-
keep
sorry.
calling him Edmund. So, I hope he doesn't listen to that later on. I'll be in trouble.
As in Blackadder or
As,
as
yeah,
in
I think that
Fordyce?
maybe I keep thinking of Blackadder. I don't know.
Well, against Simon, Edward was shooting from B-Balk. Against Simon Hockey from
Yeah.
B-Balk, you know, most of the time of that match. But he
Right.
was also hitting all of them as well.
Yeah, so he's shooting down the
I'm
line.
not sure if
from
he's
corner
going to
three.
change up
Well, he
early.
so
Red showed yesterday that he was capable of tripling,
okay. So
quite delayed, and he was rushing, balls to two back,
Yeah.
from peeling four back. So
well, Edward has decided
that won't be
that he's going to be taking.
not noticed by Edward, and so yes, he has come down to A-Balk,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
he has. Yeah, no, I mean, I just thought that that red ball might have looked attractive to Ed to shoot at because it's the shortest shot, is it not? Or
Yes, that's it. But it might have been, a yard and a half in
Yeah.
it. But as I say,
Not
the
enough.
power that this is
yeah, not enough to tempt him. Okay,
a standard shot.
so
for
here we go. Big shot, big shot by Ed. Lovely, smooth swing, cracks, misses. Second miss for Ed there. So, probably worth going over to lawn 3 to see the end of Matthew's break. Matthew currently loading 3 back and going to 2 back. Now, one thing I did notice while all of the excitement was happening on lawn 4, Pete, was that Matt has been setting the hoop 2, hoop 4, the MSL, a lot in this tournament, and he sort of went for it there, but has decided not that he couldn't do it, and you can see that the blue ball is actually quite a long way away from hoop 2.
Yes, Robert will be wanting to play the blue ball, so he's got the polarity of the balls all good. So it's highly likely blue is getting lifted.
Yeah.
But in other circumstances, you would have time to come up and possibly tidy that up.
So actually, I think Robert's on 2.
He's on 2. Well spotted, yeah.
So Matt will place this black just off to the side of 3 back, so he can pop it to the side, so when he comes out he can nestle it into the desired position wired from the end of A-Balk.
We
And
not sure if we got any viewers, but
no,
yesterday
no
we
chat. We had
would
lots of
have had
chat yesterday, and
15 comments
yeah,
there.
that's
we
right,
had the wrong
but
scorer there. By
yeah, we would.
this
Yes,
time yesterday.
they're
But they're
very.
not up yet.
No, they're. So, Matt now to just gently prod this black ball into position. Yeah, that looks absolutely perfect from here.
Yep.
He's just going down to check that there isn't a little slice poking out. What do you think about the position of the blue ball there, Pete, for this?
For Matthew's break.
For Matthew's break. So
I think Robert's walking up and picking it up.
right.
So,
Okay. So yeah.
the angle also looks quite good from if the B-Balk shot was ever on offer for it, but it's not what Robert will be doing.
Yeah. So it's sort of You think it's on the line from the end of
Yeah.
B ball with the hoop in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember, it's the blue ball, which is the... So we've actually got that round the wrong way on our scorecard there. We need to correct that so that, because the first ball is the blue ball and the
We
second
have
ball.
black and blue on this tab. You know that.
Yeah, and yet it's coming round the other way on the scoreboard. So Matthew has set his lead just doing the final placement of his partner ball. And there we go. So Robert gets up and he'll come out and survey the scene. He'll probably come down to the end of A ball and see if there's anything on offer in terms of the black ball. No, he doesn't even bother doing that. He's striding up to pick up, probably, as Pete hypothesised, the blue ball, which is to the west of hoop 2. Actually having a look at that shot from the end of B ball, deciding how to move over to the blue and pick it up, exactly as my fellow commentator predicted. Yep. So Robert sets the ball by corner 3 and okay, lots of concentration from Robert now. He stalks, moves in. No, doesn't quite feel right about it. Come back. Model of concentration. Hits and hits. It's very good shot. It again really caught most of the yellow ball, and that's a great way to answer the earlier error. Just okay, so he's he lost 9 hoops, but he's back in now, and with the ball that he wants to play with, the blue ball. So remember, the blue ball is on hoop 2, and he has the task of being able to dislodge the black ball from where it's sitting near the leg of hoop 4. But that would be the pioneer here, Pete.
I think black ball will be rushable to hoop 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
And does he try and do that on this shot?
I'm guessing he's going to red. He's
going to red
loading
and
hoop 3, going to red.
Yeah. So there would be an option for trying to get the rush up to hoop 2 on this shot as he loads
Yes.
hoop 3, but I think
he controls this pioneer at hoop 3 better. I think the yellow may be just slightly shy of optimum position if he does take the direct route to black, and
the way he's shifting his body around implies that he's going. The blue ball will be going to red,
and it gives him a chance to bring red into play early to use as a load at 4, and he gets the perfect rush to the black ball.
It's a brilliant shot because although there was 2 yards between the red and the boundary line.
Oh, it's not a nice boundary to play.
It's not a nice boundary, and you wouldn't want to slip up. I mean, it's only a yard of slip up on the split shot. It's quite possible to do that. So, funnily enough, now Pete, he's chosen to play the red all the way down to the south boundary, which means that he'll be able to pump the red all the way back up to hoop 3.
Yes.
So he'll be in pretty much the same position he was when he clanged 20 minutes ago, with 2 balls at 4 back /3, and a lot will depend on the rush that he gets now to hoop 2.
That looks a nicely played shot. Some cut required on the black.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the blue's
yeah.
come up quite a fair way higher than he wanted it to be. He's almost horizontal on the black there, and you know, again, you know, Matt's 2 balls are right next to each other.
Saying thank you for mowing these lawns. I can rush this out to the line between hoop 1 and 2 and get it most of the way up, and not have the.
So this will
the
be
worst roll.
This will be very interesting. He's got to rush the black up. I don't think he'll. It would be a lot of cut to get it up to hoop 2. He's having another think about it. I mean, realistically, you'd think he'd be playing the approach shot from at least 10 yards away, maybe 7, but still, it's not. It won't be an easy approach shot unless he nails this.
No,
this
I
rush.
think you want to be approaching it straightish, so you don't want to be
he's
undercutting or overcutting.
He's not perfectly straight, and he's at least 11 yards away here. So this is an 11-yard roll.
Testy little shot.
This is definitely testy. So this is a big shot. Remember, Matt's balls are absolutely together at hoop 3.
We'll see what happens with Robert at this hoop, and we may go to the other lawn after Robert's next few shots. But Reg is lining up for the first peel.
Yeah, Reg is about to do the first peel of his turn. But this is a very, very big shot for Robert. So 11-yard roll to hoop 2. Crucial moment in the game. Really taking time, looking at the different angles, pacing, stalking, looking at it from both sides. Really big shot. Getting down low. Lovely chopping motion. Ball's rolling up there. And not bad. It's absolutely makeable. But a bit of an angle, and
he missed it from the east last time, and he's on the west angle this time.
Yep. So, big hoop.
And
no problem at all. Beautifully played. Wow, that was a. So he left himself a lot of work to do there. He didn't get the rush on the ball that was by hoop 4, and he gave himself a very, very challenging roll, which he played really well, and then the icing on the cake was a fantastic hoop run.
Back on lawn 4, Reg is jawed the peel at 4 back, and he's in good shape at hoop 4 with a load coming up to hoop 5.
So we might flick back to lawn 4 to have a look at how that game is progressing, how Reg's triple attempt is going. The lawn looks pretty well laid out for him, as Pete says. And here we we are. You can see there the blue ball in the jaws of 4-back, and you can see that Reg has a nice Pioneer loaded now at 5, and a perfect rush on his Pioneer ball to hoop 4. So we'll see how that triple progresses. I can tell you that on lawn 3, after making the return roquet out of hoop 2, Robbie is putting his own peelie up at 4-back, and as you might expect, that peelie has landed on an absolute straight line on the in front of 4-back, and Robbie now just has to use the red and the yellow to get the load on hoop 4 and start making hoop 3. So possibly quite quickly we might see Robbie and Reg absolutely in sync making their triples. It might be quite funny if the choreography of this is that way.
It'd be a very difficult, well, Chris will be able to tell us, the difficulty setting the book of who would finish first.
That's right.
Of a completed turn.
We probably need the odds from this point, so we have them in very, very similar positions.
We give Reg one hoop head start, and it's quite an even contest. Well, they're both getting established in their break, and it's both look pretty well under control. Have a look at the bowl matches in front of me, and I can't quite see the clip positions. I mentioned earlier that Chris Schilling is playing Ian de Merg, Chris Schilling from New Zealand and Ian de Merg from Australia, and we were talking, it's probably been a long time we thought before, since Ian and Chris had ever had a match-up, and 1997 was the last one that Chris won, but they also had two games in 1992, which Ian won, so I was going to say to Ian, it's been 28 years since you beat Chris, so there's some motivation to change it up. So Reg has returned after hoop 4 up to 4-back and rushed his peelie through 4-back.
Meanwhile on 3, Robbie is about to...
we need some Gareth magic of being able to interpose the two lawns on the same...
lawns, superimpose them,
and see the difference in an approach to the triple.
But we'll see. I mean, do you think Robbie will just try and jaws this, Pete?
Robert...
That's right.
Yeah. Robert is Robert's exceptionally good at everything he does, but he is probably the very, very best in the world, or the best I've ever seen of being able to play.
So we're just panning over to Robert's peel attempt.
Peels with pull at the exact weight required.
We just missed it, but he peeled it through. So
no, I think he missed the whole hoop.
Oh, did he? Oh, right. Okay, no, he missed it. No, so
again,
unfortunately,
the commentator's curse of saying Robert's the very best in the world.
And unfortunately, we went over to 3, and then just at the critical moment, we seemed to flick back to 4 again.
But it's value. That's the slippiness of the court, and it's always been a tricky court. Lawn 3 here at Kenley, that he was prioritising getting that rush to control the break.
So we're back to Robert on 3 here, and as Pete was saying, he just let that peel attempt slither by.
And the distance of the peel was quite straight, but it was the maximum 45 type degree amount of pull, and Robert's very good at being able to manipulate how much it's going to usually pull. So,
yeah.
but it's got away from him a little bit and swung past the hoop.
Yeah, so unfortunately we've lost our sort of sync now, haven't we? Because if
Yes,
Robert had got that one,
we-
then he and
yes.
Reg would be in almost identical positions.
Yes,
It would.
Robert needed to jaws that for us.
He
to,
did. He needed. Yes, that's
jaw
right.
it for us.
Well, if he hadn't, then it would have been the same
Right.
because they would have both had their peely slightly north of four back.
Well, and Robert's capabilities to restore all this
Yeah.
to get the four back
Yes,
peel
I
going to sit.
don't, and he will have gained a lot of intel from the way that ball moved.
Yes, he's we've had a few team sessions together, and we use Robert for obviously all the intelligent stuff of peeling and things, and we've practicing with the new Dawson balls.
Yes.
It's
The-
not quite the same as the old stock of balls, so you're just learning sometimes what the new balls do on the peels, and Robert always a bit worried that there was some inconsistency on his shots from them, and there was a bit of distance between the hoop and the peel required. So. But as Gareth says, the intel that he will gather from that will be valuable for the rest of the match.
And he's back up there, looking to see how he's going to reset this. So he'll be putting the red on that line between fullback and
bit of an
penultimate.
awkward angle of sitting up, but you'll be rushing this over just east or west of fullback, so the takeoff's on a kind angle back to hoop 5.
It's a 45-degree angle for him to clip the black back at this stage.
He's just putting this out to the side of the hoop and looking at the angle to come down to the yellow. Not vital to get it right on the spot there. He's got some control on the shot to do that.
So taking off now, back down to the yellow ball at hoop 5. So it'll be interesting.
Oh, that's a nice shot. That's going to give him every opportunity to get a
rush up.
Slightly east lead direction rush out of hoop 5. Nice bit of touch.
Yep. Meanwhile, on 4, Reg has made it now to hoop 6.
And got a rush on.
And has got a rush
Peely
on his
towards
Peely
penult,
towards penult. Yeah.
And the one back load looks like it's slightly selfing on the leg. So
yes,
some care will be
yes,
needed.
that's right. That's right. But we'll stay with Robbie for this. Slightly angled. Coming down to have a look. Not sure how far out that is, but
Black's got a bit of room between hoop and peel requirement.
Yeah.
So
he he's got a rush.
he's got a rush.
He's got a rush.
Cut rush easterly is all good. Put that out towards the east boundary.
And there it goes.
Nice clear path over to one
Okay.
back.
Okay, so meanwhile on 4, Reg has placed his blue Peely nicely north of penultimate. So Reg is looking in good shape there. Maybe if we could quickly nip over to lawn 4 while Robbie's collecting balls, that would be, because all Robbie's going to be doing now is knocking the yellow over to 1 back. So a quick look at what Reg is up to, because he'll just be about to peel penultimate. So here's Reg. You can see his blue peely ball waiting for him on the other side of hoop 6.
At the time, it's 20 to 10, and we have a special guest coming up at 10 a.m.
Right.
to join the
Okay.
commentary team.
I'm hoping there'll
And
be several special guests.
We set it up to yesterday, so hopefully he remembers.
Well, not everyone remembered their stint yesterday.
No.
So
Yes, that's why I called him special guest in case there's a no-show.
in case there's a no-show, yes. Well,
Put him into
that's right. So this is Reg now to... Now, does Reg peel or jaws here, Pete?
It's straight, so I'm taking he's going to be putting up at the hoop. You know, if he's not having to rely on any movement, it'll be just controlling the back ball as well to be able to
But will he... But
cut red over towards the west. And
so he's obviously going to be looking to be south of the red with his black ball after this shot.
But no, not necessarily. No? As long as he's going to probably be even level with it. It's
even level's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just got to get it. Obviously, not get the black all the way up to the hoop, but. But
is he going to just play this softly to get the
enough to keep it on line with a slight bit of drive, but I think the black ball's just importantly just going to hang back 2 feet from the hoop, so Reg can be able to cut. Look at the spot where his mallet was there on the lawn is where Reg is going to get this black ball to land, and he'll be able to cut that with a bit of flex where he wants to put it to load 2 back.
So Robbie was successful in making his peel at 4 back.
And I mean, the pace that Reg will be doing is not going to be extreme or anything. So even if he gets a little bit of leg, it's going to most likely be sitting, nicely close to Penult. That, and as we saw yesterday, Reg was quite capable of peeling Penult going to 2 back or 3 back.
Yes. So here we go.
There's a nice smooth pace.
Oh,
and
it
he did get a little bit of leg.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
The black's the
okay. Well,
important part of this one.
Back to if we could go back to 3 to have a look at how Robbie's progressed. He looks as if he made his peel at 4 back. So the black ball is certainly in a position which would imply that, and the lack of a black clip on 4 back is also a bit of a tell.
So Reg has rushed that reception ball of red directly west, so we can load it to 2 back and come floating in nice to tidy up this yellow ball that's on the leg of 1 back.
So Robbie going off to the black. So black is black going to be the 2 back pioneer now, Pete?
Yes, the MO for Robert is black's the 2 back pioneer.
Yeah.
I want to get it up there, Robert.
Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't secure himself any sort of rush. He's going to have to play a fairly big split. I mean, it's obviously something that won't worry him, but that he would probably classify that as a mistake to not get the rush.
Yes, I talked to Robert yesterday because I only saw the 1 error from Robert. I said it was a good quality match, 1 error, Robert.
Well,
He said a couple more, but when he described them, it was like a takeoff. Didn't go quite a foot as he thought, or
that's right.
He clipped the hoop on a hoop approach and gave him a tougher hoop than he thought he'd have. But yes, it's still a nice angle to be coming from.
Yes,
it's not an enormous croquet shot.
No,
but,
even I would like this one.
Being able to rush it.
This is a very
a
natural.
few yards.
This is a very natural shot.
More optimum.
And
always nice.
And that is absolutely no problem.
Nice
And
shot.
yeah, look at that. The not only is the black just nicely placed for 2 back, but he even has a nice little rush on the yellow to place it where he wants it in front of one back.
And other players around the world who are, you know, capable of tripling and put out quite a few triples here and there and on the path of improvement of triples. I couldn't say any more than watch Robert's ball movement of all these situations, missing that first peel at 4-back, but being able to recover and get a delayed triple with the rush to sits and then taking Peely down to 2-back, and the ball movement and the ball positioning that he'll have for the peel at Penalt with a rush to 4-back. It's all textbook and
It is.
without risk. So, you know, I advise anyone, you know, do exactly what Robert does in these situations.
It does all. It does all make it look quite easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, get that default, that delayed triple peel down as a default, and then you can, you know, start exploring the slight extras. You know, you can do like Reg does to move things along, but have these in your playbook all sorted out first, and you can always rely on a very, very fast lawn that you may not get rushes out of the hoops, that Robert's ball movement will finish you the majority of delayed triples.
So, funnily enough, Robbie has now overtaken Reg on the.
Yeah, that's we gave Reg that one hoop start.
We
And I
did
thought it was going to be quite an even race after
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
that missed peel from Reg might put him behind the odds of finishing first now.
So Robbie has played the yellow ball to a position where it's ultimately going to be the pioneer for 4-back. He's done that quite early, and he's now loading 3-back, going to the ball at 2-back.
Yeah, no, good to get it in there early, and he'll be bringing Black back up there after 2-back, and if it wasn't exactly where he wants, he tidies it up. And
possibly worth going to see Reg on 4, because Robbie won't be doing any more peeling for a couple more hoops. So if we could go to lawn 4, that'd be great.
Reg is peeling this going to the floaty 2-back load, is it?
And yeah, so there's a big shot coming up here. Reg with.
He did these with ease yesterday.
He did. So the reception, the 2-back pioneer, the red ball, is actually mid-court. It's so it's not in a classic 2-back pioneer position. I don't know whether we can just pan around a little bit to the left to see where that is. So, but
he's close to Penalt, so there's going to be 0 pull on this, even though he's coming at about 30-35 degrees. It's going to be
just panning
no pull.
Panning over to the left a bit until we can see the red ball.
It's a natural line for Black, and it'll be just judging the weight of the shot.
There we go. That's the perfect shot there. And through the blue goes, and where's the black going to end up? It's going to
spot on.
Oh, absolutely perfect. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. Great. And great camera work from Kathleen there. So thank you very much for that. We have a little bit more influence today over the camera angles because we're up in the stands of Cairnlea, and the Blake, who's the roving camera person, is down by the lawns, and Kathleen is the fixed camera person up here.